Hi, this is Deb from Mystic Scribblers.
And this is Ray, and we are here in sunny South Florida, and we have a great podcast coming up.
We never know where our interviews are going to lead us.
That is very true, and we are often surprised by the experiences that people share with us about past lives and how they've affected them in the life they're living right now.
Right. One of the benefits of discovering past lives is discovering why you are drawn to what you are doing today.
I know that in my past life regressions and journeys, I have discovered that I have always been a storyteller. Sort of like a person who in a tribe would keep records, verbal records in his mind of the history of that tribe that goes back perhaps generations.
I learned in my past life that I was a persecutor and inquisitioner, which is interesting because it represents the first part of my life as a court reporter in criminal court. I watched many trials. I recorded as a court reporter, a stenographer with a machine, many cases, and hundreds of murder trials over the years that I worked. But some of them have stayed with me.
You still have memories of those stories?
I do. Some have etched in my heart and my brain forever that I will never forget. But it also brings me to the point of our guest.
Yeah.
Because she's got a story to tell. She has been a healer / caretaker in most of her past lives, and again finds herself in the same role. She's had many different careers. She's worn multiple hats. So why don't you start with telling us some of the things you've done?
I've done many different things. And when I talk to people and I say, okay, when I worked in physical therapy, and I was physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy assistant, and I've done a lot of different things there. I raised horses, bought and sold and traded and trained. Did that with horses. I had a used car lot. I've went to school later in life, became a special ed teacher, expecting to work with kids that were multi-handicapped. Didn't happen. I ended up in EBD, which means emotional behavior disturbed children.
Wow.
I have worked on many different reservations. I've so enjoyed that. I really did. And a lot of people look at me and go, what's your tribe? Now, I happen to be a blue-eyed blonde Scandinavian. Okay. And what they're seeing is previous lives.
Definitely.
They're not seeing me as this life. They're seeing me in previous lives because I am a blue-eyed blonde, And I know that I've spent many times being Native. And I have people that just go, really, what are you doing? Why are you going on there? It's not safe. It's all of this. And I'm like, I'm safer here than anywhere else.
Wow. Do you have dreams? Is that how you see them, or do you meditate? How do you find these experiences? How do they occur to you? I have,
it depends. There are times when it spontaneously clicks with me. There's a spot in Montana, and it's on the interstate, and there's just a place that it has a bathroom and all this type of thing, roadside assistance type thing. And I stopped there one time, and I took a look at the hills going towards the mountains, and I'm going, I died right there.
Wow.
And I knew that.
I knew that. Without a doubt. You just knew it.
Without a doubt. And there's many times that I've gone, and I lived in Montana for 23 years. Mm-hmm. And I would go to places, and I'm like, I've been here. I know this.
I've been here, right. That's always the best feeling. It's scary, but it is.
Yeah, and I've never been there before in this lifetime.
Right.
So it is amazing. I've had past life regressions.
What did you see in your life regression was it?
In one of them, I was a Scot, a man, a very strong man with a kilt, and I was fighting with Wallace, for him. And I was hit in the head with a battle axe. And see, before that, I'd been having headaches on the left side of my head for quite a while. And after I went through that past life regression, my headaches disappeared.
Wow.
So,
I love hearing that happens.
Yeah, and that did, because I was, and it wasn't, I didn't go into that regression with anything, any knowing, anything. I have a love of bagpipes and drums. I love them. I wear a lot of plaids, but it wasn't until then that I realized, I used to be a Scot, but a man.
Sure. And
I've been
blue eyes and hair now.
Yep,
So,
hey, redhead.
do you remember what era of time you think it was?
It was when Scotland and England were fighting, and Wallace. I was fighting with Wallace.
Okay.
So, and it was a McGregor, I think, is what if I remember properly. It's been a number of years ago that I had the regression.
Is that the only life that you found, or did you find others?
Oh no, there were others. There were others. I had another one that was a spontaneous regression. I was at a retreat. I wasn't doing the meditation, but it was somebody else that was doing meditation. She looked at me and she goes, oh, "It's you." And then all of a sudden, we both kind of went back, and it was Celtic, and the Romans were coming to attack our village, and I grabbed the children and ran. And
wow.
She was one of the children.
And she was one of the children.
Yeah.
So the village is being attacked by the English?
By the Romans.
No, Romans. This
Oh,
is
wow.
further back.
Wow.
By the Romans.
This is another life.
Yeah, so that was a different life. A totally different life. So
right.
I've been around for a while.
Yeah, you're an old soul.
Where do you think you were in that life?
I was in England. I was in England. It wasn't England then, but it was Celtic. It was the Celtic people. I was a Celtic priestess. Yeah, and I was taking the children, getting the children away from the Romans. And I'm not too sure how that ended up, but it was somebody else that recognized me from that time, and we both went right to it. It was really interesting.
You shared that moment with her. She saw what you saw. Is basically what you're saying.
Basically, it was we were both in that regression together.
That's exciting. I've never actually heard of anybody being able to do that. That's really cool. Really special.
Yeah, I've never done it again. It was only that once, and it was just like, boom, we both were right there.
Wow. I just say wow over and over because I don't know what else to say to that. Do you have other ones that you'd like to share with us?
I have had another one that I was, actually, I was bored half out of my mind. I was at an auction. I was outside.
Okay.
And I took a look around, and I did not see the place that I was. It was totally different. It was wooded, and I was a native. I do believe I probably was a shaman because I was dressed with shaman clothes, and I was doing some sort of a ritual is what I was doing. And then all of a sudden I came back and I still could see different things that would go to that regression. I mean, it was the same place. I was standing in the same place that shaman had been.
Wow! So you were there you were in the place where you believed the man was, and he could see.
Where I'd been before. Because there are still some landmarks there, but they've cleared the land, and cleared the land for farming now. So, yeah, it's wild.
You've been a healer before.
Many times. And I will tell you,
brought back to helping and healing in this lifetime with what you are currently doing.
Yeah.
And what you have done, like you said, all these different types of jobs that you've had. All of them can be considered a career practically, but you've had many.
Yep, many.
And then you're brought back to helping and healing. Do you feel like your past lives have contributed to that, to you doing this in this lifetime?
Hugely.
Okay.
And it seems like I have, in fact, I have many helpers. I know this, that I have been able to do things that are almost impossible sometimes,
Really?
I've had people that are in crisis, and I have established relationships with them first. I truly have. And they're in crisis, and it's like I can help them that way. But it's kind of like I do go back. I had one young man who was I was working on a reservation, okay, and in a school, and one young man had come in with a knife and attacked one of the other students, and I was coming down the hall, and another teacher had intervened, and then the kid turned the knife on him. And I'm like, okay, I'm the only one around here now. I'm the only one. And I said the young man's name. I said, this is, said my name. And I said, I'm walking down the hall. I'm coming to the hall. I'm coming down the hall. And I told him all the way down that I'm coming down the hall. And I got behind him. I said, I'm coming behind you, and I'm putting my arms on you. And I put my arms kind of like not a hug, but, I put my hands over his heart. And what he did was he dropped the knife. He dropped his head on my shoulder and collapsed. We collapsed down to the floor.
Wow.
And that young man, I know that he and I have had many, many, many lifetimes together. We have traded. We've traded being son, daughter, mother, father. So, and
Incredible.
It was something that he recognized, and it's something I recognized. This is the same young man. I used to tell him how wonderful he was, and I'd be, okay, right now as a Scandinavian, we are very stoic, okay? I am not a stoic person.
I don't think so.
No, not
a stoic
one. I think you have
a grand value of emotions.
Oh, I do. I'm a weeper and a wailer. I had this particular young man, and he's native, and I'm sitting and telling him how wonderful I think he is and what I see for him and what an amazing, amazing person that he is, and his core is, I could see this shining core of this person. And I'm crying. And I'm thinking, oh, this is great. Here I am trying to talk to this kid, and I've got tears coming down my eyes. He's going to think I'm a fool. Well, What he did was he reached over with his thumbs, took my tears from my face, and put them on his heart. And he says, you're crying for me because I can't.
Wow. You're leaving us speechless.
And, and we'll have another lifetime because he didn't make it. We'll do this again and again and again until we do it right.
Until you do it right.
Yeah.
So you want to come back again after this life?
Mm-hmm. I know I will. I've got unfinished business.
Wow. Okay. You know exactly where you're going.
Yep.
How did you come about what you do now with helping people? How did that originate?
With this particular job?
Yeah.
Okay. I had applied for this job like 17 years ago, and I never got it. Okay? And I have worked. I worked in the reservation school, and I was working in the schools as an educator, and I lost the money. The money got dried up for my position, and my position was eliminated. And then I went, I went and got my substitute teaching license again. I went back to the school that I had been, and I was applying for jobs all over, and I got a chance about 50 miles away to be a family support coordinator for a nonprofit. And I was there for about 2 years, and I was went to go and visit my daughter, and as I was gone, I was going to be gone for 2 weeks, a friend of mine called me and said, this job is open. Then I've had about 4 people say that you need to apply for it. And I went, really? Well, when does it close? And she told me. I went, I'm not going to come back until, about 2 or 3 days after that closes. She says, well, whatever you do, you do. I gave you the message. That's all I need to do. I said, okay. So my daughter and I were at, where she was born, and she decided she was going to come back there. And I said, okay, fine. So if you're going to come back here, let's go get you a resume, go to the, employment office. We'll, get things put together for you. We'll tackle this, and you can start applying for jobs so you can come back here and have a job ready for you. So I had been gone from this town for 20 years. Okay. I walk in the door, and I get this, hey, are you looking for a job? I got a job for you. And I'm like, oh, hi, Sam. You still here?
That's
and
great.
I went, okay. Well, that's my sign. I need to apply for a job back where I'm from. Can I use a computer? She said, fine. Okay. Now, who does this? In my purse, I had a flash drive that had my resume, had my cover letters, had my references on them.
Coincidence, so. Right?
No. And then I did get this job.
Wow.
I did.
Very cool.
And it's been an interesting ride.
And on a day-to-day basis, you're helping people in what you do?
Yep. Yeah. And a lot of times I can see through. Them. I know them.
And do you attribute that to your experiences of your past lives and your knowing, your soul knowing?
Oh, yeah. Very much so.
Okay.
Very much so. Creep some people out because I'll go, tell me what the real truth is.
Right.
Tell me what really is going on.
You're almost like a lie detector test because you've had so many experiences in past lives.
Yeah.
Can you give
tell
us
me
some
really
examples of kind of what that looks like when that moment happens, when you're kind of discovering something deeper when you're talking with someone?
It's hard to describe. I can tell you when I had somebody come in and try to pull the wool over my eyes, really bad. Okay. It was a man that came in, and he was telling me that his significant other was crazy, and she was nuts, and he was afraid she was going to kill him, and he needed order protection against him. And I looked at him. I just looked at him. And I said, I know who you are. And I know what you're trying to do. And if you think you're going to get that from me, you've got another think coming.
Wow.
And I looked at him, eyeball to eyeball. And all of a sudden, he got a look of pure terror on his face. And he got up and he ran out of my office. I've never seen him again.
You put him in his place, which is out the door.
No, but
and I knew him.
You saw what he was.
You saw he was.
That is such a beautiful gift.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like having the BS wand to wag. I just cut through it.
it happens so often because I have a relationship with so many people here because I was in the schools for so many years. And now these kids are young adults, and they come to my door, and they go, oh, it's you, and it's really interesting. And that's just an aside. But so many times I will sit and I will watch people as they come and tell me their story, and I see somebody else in their place. I can see kind of overlaid on top of who they are. I see who they were. So it's interesting. And if I tell people that, they creep them out.
I'm sure they would be, but when you see them, that other person that you're looking at, you see someone else, do you sometimes recognize them from a past life of yours, or do you just see them as a different person?
It depends. Some are not any part of me from my previous lives, and some are.
Okay.
Those that are, I will tell you, it can get pretty interesting because I know an awful lot about them, and I got to be careful because it does creep them out if that comes up to that point.
I'm sure that does overlap. There's got to be a different to be in.
And I have to be careful. I have to really just pull myself back because I'm an empath also. So I need to protect myself. I need to protect my core.
Yes, you do.
I can't give it out. I can't give all my core out. I have to protect, and I have to be very careful on who I allow into my core.
Which we feel very grateful that you've shared with us this stuff. And again, I don't know what else to say other than thank you for letting us in.
You're welcome. It's been interesting, an interesting trip. It is.
And the thing is, a lot of people are afraid of what they feel, what deja vus, if you want to call them. I sometimes find that something jogs my memory. Most of my life I've been a storyteller, and in my past lives I've been a storyteller for the tribe, the one who held the stories, the one who had a voice that was verbal and
you were
kept
the
record
keeper.
What was going on. And the reasons I started writing after many years, I wrote, but I had to raise kids and do all kinds of stuff that interrupted it. And I'm hearing from you that you've been a healer many times. I'm a storyteller.
Yeah.
And my writing partner Deb knows how to put the magic on the words that I know. And where those thoughts come from and the stories, I know it's romance novels and that's what we write, but it's a story about love and about seeking who you are and finding out what you are in spite of the fact that it's a love story and the cover says romance novel. And we're all trying to figure out who we are.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And the thing is, we have so many layers. There are so many layers. I think I had put in last time that you had the on the Facebook thing, a friend who had come in, and she was just broken, and she's also an empath, extreme empath. And it was I just saw her. I mean, I saw her immediately when she came in. I'm like, oh my goodness, you don't remember who you are. You don't remember who you are. And she's still not too sure. But
is she searching?
Oh, she's definitely searching. And I'm having to be very careful with this person because now they I always call her my gun-toting, motorcycle-riding, bipolar friend.
That's great.
And she's amazing.
When you're a healer, to not become wrapped up and allow them to heal. They need to heal.
Yeah,
Not
they need their own journey.
need you as a crutch. You need them to stand.
Well, that's it.
And
And I've done this time and time again. Okay, I have given you the tools. It is now up to you. Here you go. This is what I feel that you need. Take it or not. Do it or not.
are you frustrated by people who don't want
Not anymore.
to open the door?
Yeah, they're afraid, and that's okay. They're afraid. They're not ready. You can't.
They're not ready.
You can't make somebody wake up if they don't want to be woke up yet. You can't force that. It's an inside job.
Yeah, I remember the movie Matrix sometimes when I look at past lives, and sometimes I look in the world around us. We're all caught up in I had a young guy talking to me last Friday, and he said, everybody talks about life, and it's all about all the trappings that we carry, the car we drive, the job we get, how much we're earning. And he said, what is life really all about?
This was a 20-year-old asking that kind of question.
I'm giving him some tools.
Yeah, we gave him the book, Many Lives, Many Masters. We said,
So
start here.
And then I want to sit down with you and talk. Read that first, because that door has not been open to him.
Yeah.
Because he's been in a religious setting, more or less. And he said, I just know if it all boils down to God. I said, well, I don't know whether God exists or not, but something does. And I know the soul is real. And the soul is on a journey. And your soul's on a journey. Yeah. And it's just a matter of opening doors.
Yeah. And like I said, I give people tools to do what they need to do. And then I back off. And if they so wish to connect, that's fine. If not, that's fine too. You're on your own journey.
Thank you so much for sharing that amazing story with us. We encourage you to journey a little bit further, to take a look at our website, which is mysticscribblers.com. It has a lot of information on it about past lives, along with the books that we've written, the romance novels, Twisted in Time, A Lost Romance Found, and A Twisted Reality, which is going to be released in the near future.
If you're looking for like-minded people, look up Mystic Scribblers under groups on Facebook, and you can join us at our next meeting. It's been growing, and it's been exciting, and you never know where it's going to take us.
Yeah. First Wednesday, is that right, of every month?
Yes, it's usually the first Wednesday of every month. It's a private group, and we have fun with it, and so do the people that join us in our conversations. And we've done some exciting things lately.
It's really fun. It's a place where you can think and say whatever it is that you think as regards to past lives, your life, whatever's going on. You ask questions, and we've had some really great conversations.
We've had people connect where they have actually started friendships because they've felt a kinship.
So join us. We're going to have fun.
Thank you.